My name is Gera. I'm the Director of Athletics. I've been at the university since 1989, and I've been Director of Athletics since 1996. I was a student here in the late 70s, and we were the Indians then, and the women's teams often were referred to as the Squaws. I have seen headlines in various newspapers where it was called Montclair State Squaws did this or that. And for a while, our logo actually looked a little bit like the Cleveland Indians Indian. Probably late 1988 into 1989, I think there was a conversation starting about whether or not the name of Indians or some of the other Indian-related mascots were appropriate, and whether or not they were degrading to American Indians. And I think there was a conversation at that time. The administration of the university, particularly the Vice President of Student Affairs, I think was very sensitive to that, and we started to have a conversation about whether or not we wanted to retain the Indian nickname or if we wanted to change it. I think there's a lot of connections that people feel sometimes with a mascot. You know, when we made the change in '89 from the Indians to the Red Hawks, we had a lot of longtime alumni who felt very strongly a sense of pride and connection to them having been Indians. So it was a difficult change for them to think that their alma mater would make a switch from the Indian name that they loved so much and that they felt such a part of, to change it to something that they had no connection to. And I'm guessing that there's a similar situation in Washington where they feel that it's been a long-time franchise. They've been known as the Washington Redskins for, I guess, the length of the franchise. And I think they feel that there's tradition, there's connection, there's a sense of affinity with that nickname, and perhaps changing it then changes sort of people's connections to that team and that brand. And if people really feel that that terminology, particularly Redskins, is offensive to Native Americans, then I think that they may sort of decide to go along with the popular pressure and say, okay, we're going to look to do something different. And what we did here, we had a contest and people submitted ideas. We wanted to keep our same colors, so we knew it was going to be a red and white situation. And people were very creative in what they came up with and ideas that they had, and you can turn it into sort of an exciting plus for your organization if you do it the right way. I think as an educational institution, we've always, I think, been committed to, first of all, a diverse student body, and second of all, a sense of acceptance for all groups. And I think that if there's any sense that a group would be offended by a particular name, that a university as a center for higher learning would try not to be offensive. So I would be surprised that somewhere between '89 and 2014, if we hadn't changed it in '89, I would have been surprised if we hadn't changed it.